welcome to another episode of Who Wants to Be a Gilionaire, a trivia game show about video games. I'm your host, Squillistipated, and in this episode, we're making a few changes to the lifelines. The first lifeline that is changing is the Whirlwind. Instead of changing your question out for one of equal difficulty, Whirlwind will now just put you to the next question directly. So if I'm on question 10 and I use Whirlwind, then I'm automatically pushed to question 11. No questions asked, you just get it right, really. That's basically it. And the second lifeline that is changing is the codec. I'm just getting rid of this one completely, to be honest. I'm not a fan of it, people don't use it as much, so that one is being replaced by a lifeline called Double Jump. Now, what Double Jump does is it allows you to make two guesses at once. So if I'm on a question and I'm having a little trouble, I can say I'm going to use Double Jump. I'm going to guess A and B. And as long as A or B is correct, I move on. It's pretty fun. And Steam sales just staying the same. I like that one. So, to reiterate, you've got Whirlwind, which puts you to the next question. You've got your Double Jump, which allows you to make two guesses at once. And then you've got your Steam sale, which takes away two of the incorrect answers. And with that being said, this is also the second time we've had to do this recording. The first recording went really well, but then, after recording, all of my webcam footage was corrupted. So, you would have had an episode without webcams, and that's no fun. So I made an entire new set of questions in one day, which is harder than it looks. And then recorded this episode, edited it in one night, and then goes up on the next day. So it's been a long 3 days for me. But yeah, why don't we introduce our next guest? So let's welcome our next guest, MidniteZer0.
That's me.
Is it? I
think so.
I thought you were just a guy in the call. Like, you just kind of showed up.
Sorry, I can get someone more important if you want.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like, I mean, who are you thinking of? I mean, president would be nice. Yeah. Alright, well, why don't you tell the people of the internet what you do on the internet?
Well, on the internet, I do Let's Plays, I do challenge videos, I do gameplay commentary videos where I just empty all of my deep thoughts onto the internet, and pretty much anything gaming related.
I enjoy deep thoughts. It gets my brain working. It hardly ever does. My brain hardly ever works, but
I'm glad. That's the point. You know, get people thinking.
Alrighty. Well, you have got 25 questions to get to 1 million gil, and you've got your 3 lifelines, some of which have changed. You've got your Steam sale, you've got your new upgraded Whirlwind, and you've got your brand new Double Jump.
A brand new Double Jump. I was just getting tired of my old one.
Yeah, right? It's upgraded. It's like, I mean, yeah, you can jump even doubler.
Even doubler. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let that go. I'll let that go.
Alright, are you ready?
As SpongeBob repeatedly says, I'm ready.
Alright. For question number 1, worth 1 gil. In the Madden series of games, what sport are you playing? Is it A, baseball, B, football, C, cricket, or D, chess?
It's funny, coming onto a game show about video games, I was not expecting a sports question.
They make sports games, so I mean, I figured I should include them.
I guess they should be included, but at the same time, it's like, that's not what I was expecting. But regardless, I have played some of the Madden games. I actually played Madden 1999 because I'm a huge Green Bay Packers fan, and Brett Favre, I believe, was on the cover of that one. He was on the cover of a couple. And so then, like, recently for the PS3, Brett Favre was on the cover of that one. So I do know that it's not baseball, which is actually my least favorite sport. So don't hate me in the comments for not liking baseball. And it's certainly not cricket or chess. Although surprisingly, chess video games do exist. Not on the scale of Madden, though. So B, football, is my final answer.
That's correct. On to the next question. Worth 2 gil. In the game Star Fox 64, Peppy Hare tells you to do what kind of roll? Is it A, a barrel roll, B, a spring roll, C, a paper towel roll, or D, an egg roll?
You know, I've only played a little bit of Star Fox 64, but luckily this has become a meme that's spread well across the internet. So whenever I think of Star Fox 64 or even a roll of any sort, or even barrels, I think of Peppy just going, do a barrel roll. So it's definitely not a spring roll, though they might be delicious. Paper towel roll or an egg roll. It's A. My final answer is A, barrel roll.
That's correct. But funny story that you don't actually do barrel rolls in the game. They're corkscrew rolls. They're like, because barrel rolls you kind of have to make a flip in the air, like sort of like your plane makes a circle too.
Oh, okay.
Your whole physical plane.
Nintendo's got to get their facts straight.
Right? Alrighty, on to question number 3. Worth 5, Gil. In the arcade game Daytona USA, what type of vehicle do you race with? Do you race with A, boats, B, trains, C, cars, or D, rollerblades?
You know, it's funny you bring up Daytona USA because I'm pretty sure that's an event in a particular sport, and shockingly enough, there's another sports question. But the sport, you couldn't include the actual name of the sport because it's called NASCAR. And the word car is included in the title, NASCAR. So I'm pretty sure you don't race in NASCAR with a boat or a train. And as interesting as it would be, I don't think you race in NASCAR with rollerblades. So I'm going to have to go with C, a car, as my final answer.
That's correct. You know, I would love to race. If NASCAR did have rollerblade racers, I mean, I would want to be a NASCAR racer. That'd be really cool, like rocket-powered rollerblades.
Rocket-powered rollerblades. That'd be really intense.
It would be. Alrighty, on to question number 4, worth 10 Gil. In the Metal Gear Solid franchise, what appears above enemies' heads upon their discovery of Snake? Is it A, an exclamation mark, B, a question mark, C, a quotation mark, or D, a semicolon?
Now, I've actually never played a Metal Gear Solid game, shockingly enough. I know that they're pretty famous, there are quite a few of them, pretty popular, but I've never actually played any of them. The most experience I have with a Metal Gear Solid game is actually playing as Snake in Smash Bros. Brawl or Project M. However, if I were a security guard or something like that, and I immediately noticed an enemy that was sneaking into my base or something like that, I wouldn't be very confused. I don't even know what a mood a quotation mark would represent. Same goes for a semicolon. So I would be pretty alarmed, pretty exclaimed if I might say so myself. And so I'd imagine there'd be an exclamation mark. And so A is my final answer.
That is correct.
Alright.
I mean, I'd be pretty confused if there was a guy running around in a box in my base, but...
I was gonna say, if it's the box, you just see this like little box just like scuttling along the floor. At first you'd be like, but then you're like, wait a minute.
There's something amiss here. Alright, moving on to question number 5. Worth 15 Gil. Which of the following Mario titles was the first game to allow you to play as Peach? Is it A, Super Mario 3D World, B, Super Mario Bros. 2, or C, Mario Party, or D, Super Mario Strikers?
Now, it's actually nice that you actually included all games in which you can actually play as Peach. There isn't some like dummy option where it's like, oh, maybe Peach is like an unlockable character or something that I just never noticed about. No, but Peach is very playable in all 4 of these games.
I try and think about the wrong answers. I mean, some thought has been put into this.
Okay, good. That's consoling. So, my final answer is going to be B, Super Mario Bros. 2, which I believe was for the NES.
That is correct. And it is for the NES. It is.
Okay, I thought so. I know they made a remake for the Game Boy Advance, right? Super Mario Advance?
They did. Yeah, they did.
Okay.
I mean, it's probably on the eShop too, and like it's been re-released on multiple platforms.
Now there's so many things on the eShop, which is a good thing.
Yeah. On to question number 6, worth 25 Gil. Who is the main antagonist in the Crash Bandicoot series? Is it A, Tiny, B, Coco, C, Ripto, or D, Dr. Neo Cortex?
You know, I've actually only played one Crash game. It was for the GameCube. I'm pretty sure it was called Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex, but I'm not 100% sure. And that pretty much points out an answer, but I'm not 100% sure. I was actually just talking about this the other night, because when I found out I was going to be on Gilionaire, I was like, friends that had a PlayStation childhood, please inform me of all of your games. So I know for a fact that Tiny is actually a boss who's not tiny in the slightest that Crash has to go up against, but not like the main antagonist. And I had to reread that to make sure it didn't say protagonist, because that was my first inclination. It was like, wait, who's the protagonist of Crash Bandicoot? Wouldn't that be Crash? No, it's the antagonist. Coco is actually Crash's sister, and Ripto's from Spyro. Yeah, Ripto's from the second Spyro game, I believe. So, no, I'm pretty sure on my final answer, D, Dr. Neocortex, the small little yellow dude with a gigantic forehead. Or cortex.
That is correct.
Yes.
I mean, you studied up. It paid off.
Kids, do your homework. Studying pays off.
Yeah, do your homework. I mean, drugs are okay. Just, I mean, as long as you do your homework, really.
Homework is the only thing that matters in life.
Yeah. I mean, if you can be high in class and just get an A, man, I applaud to you. All right. On to question number 7, worth 50, Gil. In Paper Mario for the N64, which of these classic Mushroom Kingdom enemies does not have a representative in Mario's companions? Is it A, a Chain Chomp, B, a Boo, C, a Goomba, or D, a Lakitu?
So, before I even start talking about this, I'm just going to get ready to get crucified for saying that Paper Mario 64 is my favorite of the Paper Mario series.
Oh, no, it's mine too, yeah.
It's yours too? Okay, good. Because most people say Thousand Year Door is, like, by far the best, and I liked it. I don't have anything against it, but Paper Mario 64 is definitely my favorite. I like the graphical feel of it more. The fact that it's less polished graphics-wise, I think actually fits the game better. And I like the environments. My favorite level was by far Lava Lava Island. I don't know.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. But regardless, back to the question. All of these partners, or potential partners, were so fun. And no, I know for a fact that there's a Goomba partner, because Goombario was my favorite partner, like tattling on everything. And I would
He was the most useless partner. What are you talking about?
No, he was my favorite. He was so good. All you have to do is wait till you get his charge ability, and then you can like just decimate enemies. I beat, I think, Huff and Puff, which was like the 7th boss or something from Flower Fields, in like 2 hits, because I just charged with Mario, and then I charged with Goombario, and I did like double jump with each of them. Just decimated Huff and Puff. I know there's a partner named Bow or Bo. I grew up saying Bow, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Bo. Not 100% sure. But Bow or Bo is definitely a Boo. And I also grew up saying Lakitu, but I'm pretty sure it's Lakitu. And the partner is Lackluster, which you get in Flower Fields. I know for a fact that there is no partner that's a Chain Chomp. So my final answer is going to be a Chain Chomp.
That is correct.
All right. I would have been so mad if I didn't get a question about...
Yeah, it's... Honestly, like, I mean, Thousand Year Door is probably the second favorite. I would say the one for the Wii...
Super Paper Mario?
Super Paper Mario. That one's... I don't like that game at all.
I mean, you just have to go into it thinking it's not a Paper Mario game, because they took so much away from, like, your standard formula and made it more of, like, a platformer. So, it's a totally different game, in my opinion. Kind of like... It is. The game very few people speak of. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Oh god, no, please don't even bring that game up. Alrighty. On to question number 8, worth 75, Gil. In the game Xenoblade Chronicles, what is the name of the robots who would attack the Bionis and his people? Are they A, Telethea, B, Homs, C, Mechon, or D, Nopon?
I've actually never played Xenoblade Chronicles. I stop by GameStop a lot and check to see if they have it, and it's always like pre-owned for like $40, so
oh yeah,
it's always a huge purchase if I'm gonna get it. However, I did watch a little bit of a Let's Play of it, and just looking at the names, it seems like one of them is very robot-based. Telethea, I don't know anything about. Homs, I couldn't really tell you much about. Nopon, no inclination, but Mechon, like the word mech in itself is derivative of like machinery, and I would say that's a pretty solid indicator that a robot would be Mechon. And I believe there are 2 like primary forces, like the Bionis versus like the Mechon in general, that are trying to take over Bionis. But if I had to give an answer, I would say I'm really feeling C, Mechon is my final answer.
No. I honestly did not think of that. I would have made that joke if I would have thought of it, but yes, that is correct.
All right. I'm really feeling it.
Are you now? I can't. We have to move on. I can't stay on that joke. Question number 9, worth 100 gil. In the game Conker's Bad Fur Day for the N64, what is the name of Conker's girlfriend? Is it A, Lucy, B, Barry, C, Rosie, or D, Jenny?
I've actually also never played Conker's Bad Fur Day. I've watched a little bit of gameplay because it's supposed to be an amazing game. I know that Conker's girlfriend is a bunny, or like a rabbit, which makes me think it's probably Barry, but I'm not 100% sure.
It's a great game. Although the reason I like that game is it makes so many movie references that's that game. It's movie references.
I've heard that it's just like it parodies so many like iconic scenes from a whole bunch of different movies, and it's just so raunchy. It's supposed to be hilarious, but I don't actually know for a fact the name of Conker's girlfriend.
So you're leaning towards Barry. So how sure of you are you of that is the answer?
I'm not very sure. I'm pretty sure it ends in like a Y or IE sound.
You mean all of them?
Lucy,
okay.
Barry, Rosie, Jenny. But no, I'm not 100% sure.
You do have all of your lifelines if you would like to use them.
Which I should use. So I'm probably going to go with my Whirlwind, because if I were to use like the 50-50 or the double jump, I would need to have like a strong inclination as the two options. So I'm actually going to play this one safe. I think it's Barry, but I'm going to go on with Whirlwind.
Alright, so we're going to get our good friend Pidgeotto to go ahead and whirlwind you onto the very next question. By the way, the answer was Barry.
It was Barry, okay.
Yes.
That's at least somewhat consoling to know, even though I could have guessed it and gotten it right.
You were leaning in the right direction.
Okay.
Alright, so your new question, worth 250 gil. In the game Five Nights at Freddy's, which of the following animals is not in the game as an animatronic robot? Is it A, a bear, B, a mouse, C, a chicken, or D, a fox?
I've actually played plenty of Five Nights at Freddy's. I've beaten nights 1 through 5. I considered going through the 6th night and doing the 20-20-20-20 challenge, but I figured I needed my sanity and was not looking to do that. So as far as the animatronics go, there's a bear, Freddy Fazbear. I can't think of a mouse. As far as the chicken goes, Chica the chicken. It's like the weird thing that always has like the bib that says "Let's eat," and it's like, what do you want to eat? And then there's...
I think you know what it wants to eat.
Then there's Foxy, who hides in Pirate Cove and is, well, the name is Foxy. And even though it might not look 100% like a fox, I'm pretty sure it's a fox. And as much as Chuck E. Cheese's, which I believe is the basis for Five Nights at Freddy's, might be centered around a mouse, Five Nights at Freddy's is not. So my final answer is actually going to be B, mouse.
That is correct.
All right.
Now, do scary games get you? Do they?
Do
they scare you?
They very much do. A lot of jump scares, like Five Nights at Freddy's, they'll get me the first time. Usually, like atmospheric, eerie, and like creepy gets to me the most. But by the time I got to the end of Five Nights at Freddy's, I was just so set on like calculating the best strategy to beat the game that the jump scares kind of just lost their effect.
Yeah, that's usually what jump scares do. I mean, you get used to them. You know when they're gonna come. It's like it's hard to make jump scares unpredictable.
Yeah.
In games like that, I do enjoy those atmospheric games. You know, like Amnesia or something.
Amnesia, I played through that game. That's a scary game for sure.
Mm-hmm. For question number 11, worth 500 gil, in the game The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask, which of the following forms do you not encounter in the final boss on the moon? Is it A, Majora's Wrath, B, Majora's Mask, C, Majora's Incarnation, or D, Majora's Fury?
Alright, so as far as Zelda games go, Majora's Mask is actually my favorite, which is really exciting because they're finally making a remake. They just announced literally hours ago that they're going to be remaking Majora's Mask for the 3DS, so I'm super pumped for that. I never actually played through the entire game, though. I got to the final battle. I got to the moon, and this was when I was like a kid. I had a guidebook and everything, because I would not have been able to get through the game had I had not had a guidebook.
I don't think anybody can get through that game without a guidebook their first playthrough.
It's a gigantic puzzle of a game. But regardless, my brother actually deleted my file, so I never got to experience this final battle myself. I have, however, seen the final battle, and I know that though you're fighting Majora's Mask, there are 3 different like forms, and I can't remember which one is which, but there's one where like there are multiple masks floating around. There's one where he has like tentacles, and I know that the Fierce Deity mask just obliterates this battle. But I am pretty sure that you fight the Wrath, the Incarnation, and the Fury. Is it between Mask or Fury though? Darn it, that's the question.
I mean, you haven't beaten it, so I mean.
I haven't beaten it, so I wouldn't know exactly myself.
When was the last time you saw the battle? Like you said, you had watched it.
It's probably a year and a half ago or so. It's been a while. I know that there's a Majora's Wrath and Majora's Incarnation. I know those. It's just a matter of Majora's Mask or Majora's Fury.
Alrighty. Well, do you have like a percentage? Like, where are you leaning towards?
I'm pretty sure you don't encounter Majora's Mask. I'd say like 70% confident on that. So I'd probably go with a 50-50. I'm gonna go with my 50-50.
Alrighty. So we're going to get our good friend Gabe Newell to come down and bring the Steam sale upon us. And we're going to take away 2 of the incorrect answers, and you are left with A, Majora's Wrath, and D, Majora's Fury.
Alright, I'm very glad I used that 50-50, because I know you fight Majora's Wrath. I know for a fact you fight Majora's Wrath. So I'm pretty sure my final answer is going to be D, Majora's Fury.
That is correct.
Yes! You can't kill me with that look. You can't just stand there and pause for too long.
I can, and I will. It's because it's my favorite part of this job. I get to stare at a camera and make people feel uncomfortable. Alrighty. Well, now that you've gotten that correct, we're gonna move on to question number 12. You only got 1 lifeline left.
Only 1 lifeline.
Yeah. For 750 gil, in the video game franchise Jak and Daxter, what species is Daxter? Is he A, an Ottsel, B, an Ocelot, C, a Weasel, or D, a Hip Hog?
I've actually played quite a bit of Jak and Daxter, at least the first one, the Precursor Legacy. However, when it comes to Daxter, I know that Daxter wasn't always what he's most commonly seen as. He was, I think, the same species as Jak, like one of Jak's friends, and he gets transformed into something else. I think that's what you're referring to in the question.
That is.
Okay.
I will say that.
Okay, good to know, good to know. Because I was like, I don't remember these other ones. I know it's not a Hip Hog. And I don't think it's a Weasel. I think it's some other like space alien one. And Ottsel and Ocelot sound pretty similar. I'm leaning towards Ocelot, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm probably going to use my double jump, actually, just to be safe.
Right off the bat, already.
Yeah,
so
I'm going to use my double jump on A and B, Ottsel and Ocelot.
Alrighty. So you're gonna guess both of those and use your magical powers of double jumping.
The magical powers of double jumping.
I will say that B is incorrect, but A is.
Yes! I thought it was between those two, which is why I used double jump, but I wasn't sure which one.
Alrighty, well you're completely out of lifelines here now.
Okay, I'm just all on my own from here on out.
You are. And I think this marks the halfway point. Question number 13.
Halfway. Moving on.
Yeah. Alrighty. Which of the following characters... Oh, worth 1,000 gil, by the way.
I was gonna ask, how much is this worth? How much is this worth?
Yeah, I don't know. Which of the following characters is not a part of Team Rose in Sonic Heroes? Is it A, Big the Cat, B, Amy Rose, C, Charmy Bee, or D, Cream the Rabbit?
Okay, I never played Sonic Heroes beyond the first level because I didn't actually enjoy the game that much. It wasn't my favorite. I know almost all of these characters. I don't know who Charmy Bee is. or if Charmy Bee is even a Sonic character. If so, relatively obscure. I would imagine Amy Rose is in Team Rose, and I don't know if you can play as Cream the Rabbit, but Cream the Rabbit would definitely fit in Team Rose. I know you can play as Big the Cat, though I don't think Big the Cat is part of Team Rose. I know there's like a crocodile, and I think Big the Cat is with that crocodile. Or alligator. I don't know the difference. not at least
they're basically the same thing.
When it comes to Sonic, I don't know the difference. So, if Big the Cat is also with that crocodile and alligator, that's 2 members of the party, and the parties are of 3 members. That means that Big the Cat can't be in Amy Rose's party, because Amy Rose would have to be that 3rd character. So, I'm pretty sure... Well, I know that one of the trios is Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, and then there's Big and the crocodile, and then maybe Espio. So, I'm gonna go with my final answer as A, Big the Cat.
Is that your? You said that was your final answer.
That is 100% my final answer.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
No!
Your correct answer is Charmy Bee.
Is Charmy Bee even a Sonic character?
I think Charmy Bee is a Sonic character.
Okay. Darn it.
Just not in Team Rose.
Okay. I didn't know that Charmy Bee was a character. I didn't think Big the Cat was on Team Rose. Obviously.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you used all your lifelines.
I used all my lifelines.
You had that goal in mind, and
yes.
you successfully did that. I mean, 13. It's not bad. It's halfway.
I'll take it. I expected to do better, but I didn't do half bad. So
yeah,
that's okay.
It was fun, I would say.
The number 1 rule is to have fun, and
it is.
I enjoyed myself. So,
all right. Why don't you tell these fine people where they can find you on the internet?
You guys can find me at youtube.com/MidniteZer0, where I said I already do Let's Plays and challenge videos and such. And I also live stream on Twitch. Osu, a rhythm game, Mega Man 2 speedruns, and then just random games like Pokemon Randomizer, Nuzlocke, and such.
Alright, yeah, and if they can't find any of those, they'll all be in the description, right down there. You hit your computer there? You're like wobbling, jeez.
Yeah, jeez. I accidentally hit the desk. Too much hand motion.
Yeah, I mean, you jazz hands? No? Okay. Well, it was a blast having you. It was really fun.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Yeah. I'll be sure to send you your t-shirt whenever I make those.
I was on Gilionaire and all I got was this stupid t-shirt.
Exactly. Well, it was fun, and I'll see you later.
See ya.
And that does it for another episode of Who Wants to Be a Gilionaire? I'd just like to take a minute just to explain my reasonings behind changing the lifelines. They're a big part of the game, and I think you guys deserve to know why I changed them. So, for Whirlwind, it's really a matter of making my life easier. If for Whirlwind, I have to create a bunch of other questions that they can switch to, so it takes a lot of work off my part on the question creation part. That's really it, and it also makes it easier for the player to get further, because they just have a 100% chance to just go on. So, as for codec, I just found it's really difficult to get a bunch of people that you know, like, just on the hold. Like, so, hey, be here, I'm gonna be on this show. But I mean, it's really hard to find a wide group of people, and a lot of people only have friends that play Nintendo or something like that. So it just makes it easier. Plus, you have to call the person, and it's a hassle to set up. And I personally like the idea of double jump and how it flowed. So I would also like to hear your thoughts. What do you think of these new lifelines? Like, are they good? Are they bad? I want to know. So just go ahead and put your thoughts in the comments if you have those thoughts. I mean, you don't have to have thoughts if you don't want to, but if you want to, you can also hit the like button. That really makes me happy. It really does. Actually, it means a lot to me. But other than that, if you want to be on the show, I've got an application in the description that you can apply. Also, if you have some questions for the show that you think would be good to be on the show that I could ask 2 contestants, there's a form for that in the description as well. Don't forget, I have a Twitter that you can find in the description. I post any updates on Gilionaire on there, plus some random stuff if I ever feel like it. But yeah, it was a good episode. But for now, I was your host, Squillistipated, and I'll see you next time.